Hi guys, it's Ivy here, and welcome to our channel, Colin and Colin Ivy. So, this Sunday afternoon, I decided to share here in um, my channel about how I processed my fiance visa before. That was 2017 when I processed it. So, Colin and I decided to process a fiance visa for me and not a spousal because fiance visa because we're not married yet on that time there. So we decided to marry here in the US. And to travel here in the US, you need to have a visa. You can't just buy a plane ticket and get to the plane and just be here. No, you can't do that. So and then you have to choose a proper kind of visa that you have to apply and process, and it wouldn't just take one day, a week, or a month, but it will take a few months. So it depends on how you process it. What I mean to say, like, it depends on how genuine your documents that you're showing to the embassy. So that's really very important. You can't make or make any fake documents as well, or just making it up. So because of course, I mean, the consuls or the people in the embassies, they're very expert on how to really see if you're just using that kind of visa just to get in here. So they know if you're getting fiance visa, you have to show to them that the relationship of the sponsor is your fiance and yourself are really genuine. So meaning you have proper documents that you're showing, um, like pictures together, not just a one day pictures, but like like enough to prove that you have a bona fide relationship with your fiance. And also fiance visa, meaning that you and your boyfriend um, already like really decided to marry here. So meaning you guys are like engaged already. So the guy already proposed to you there in the Philippines. So it's not like you guys are still boyfriend and girlfriend and see if you're gonna when you come here, if you guys would decide to marry or not. No, so meaning um, you already decided. Though there are some circumstances that even though the couple already engaged, but once they're here, like the Filipina, for example, decided like, oh no, this place here in the US is not for me. Like I can't survive here. I need to go back to the Philippines. Or else, if you notice, if the guy is not truthful to her, or like some, secrets or hidden something, then of course, like, you can think straight and you want to go back to the Philippines. So that's the proper way. You go back to the Philippines. Well, yeah, I mean, that's I can advise like yeah, do not take advantage. Do not, like overstay here. It doesn't mean that you're here like it's really worth it. You're here already, and even though you don't have proper papers, then as long as you're here, then you're fine. You will be fine. No, it's yeah, trust me, it's not safe to do. So, but then a fiance visa also, like as what I said, giving the couple a chance to like get to know more here, because once the Filipina is already here in the US, so you have 3 months to stay legally. So within that 3 months, you have to do the wedding. You have to marry your fiance. It's not like forcing you to marry him, but as what I said, like before you decided to get fiance visa while you're still in the Philippines, you guys, the couple, should already have a fixed decision that you really wanted to be each other. And that's why you have to process a fiancé visa so that the Filipina can be here and plan the wedding. And it should happen within 3 months. Because if you guys not doing any wedding at all within 3 months, then the proper way is the lady should be going back to the Philippines, or else you will have a bad record in here. So yeah, and then it's not the end of that as well. Like after you get married here, um, you also need to what you call this, apply for a green card, like a permanent residence, because having the fiancé visa is just like a temporary. It's just a way for the woman to be here. So in order for you to make yourself legal here, so after the wedding, you have to process another documents again for you to have a legal status in here. So, and that would be the other story because right now this vlog is all about how I process my fiance visa. And then in my upcoming vlogs, I would also share to you guys how I process my legal status here as well, and step by step. So like right now, I already have the green card, just the 2 years first, the 2 years green card. So like a permanent resident, but only for 2 years, because that's the step by step. So that's the second step after the fiance visa. So, and in my case, if I'm closer to my second year here, then I have to process for a 10-year green card, because the first was the 2 years, the 10-year green card. So that's what I'm doing now. So later this year, because I'm like closer to my my 2 years here, so I have to process that to get my 10 years green card. So that would like for me to stay 10 years. And then it's either if I will still renew every after 10 years, or I will get citizenship. So citizenship is really much better to just get the 10 years. But there's some other Filipinas, they're okay with just the 10 years. So I mean, it's not bad too. But the most important is that you have a proper paper here, like a legal stuff. So that's what all matters. So okay, let's go back to how I processed my fiancé visa. So that was 2017, like July, that we really started the first step. So yeah, 2017. So because May 2017, that was the second visit Colin did to me in the Philippines, and that was the surprise what you call this one, proposal too for Colin. I mean, I wasn't really expecting that. I mean, expecting the romantic proposal like that. I thought like, like just a talk between me and him, like, okay, let's get married. I want you to be here in the US. I want to be with you forever. I thought that's only it. But what he did was really like so romantic. He did the traditional way, like surprised me with a ring in front of my family and proposed to me, like kneeling. I don't know what to do about it. Good thing my sister was able to use her phone immediately to take a video, though she wasn't able to take from the beginning, but still like it was captured. So thank you, sister. Okay, so 2017 July, we started processed my fiancé visa. So before Colin really did the initial process, we talked. I mean, of course, we Skyped everyday video call every day, like after his work. So he would sleep like so late every night, and then in the morning he needs to go to work again. So, but yeah, we talked that even though it's so easy because you can Google it, like the step by steps on what to do, blah blah blah. But still, there is a lot of agencies out there, could be in the Philippines or here in the US, that would help you and guide you in all the process. So either way would be fine. You can use an agency if you have some extra bucks, or else you guys can just submit it, like like, yes, submit it like all by yourself. Don't need an agency. But what we did before, because Colin wanted it to be really, really, really perfect. Um, though he can check it, I mean, the documents, he can Google it himself, and also I can Google it, so that we both able to see how we should process it in the right way and get their approval. But still, we need other people as well, which I'm referring about the agency, to also double check our documents, because of course, like we're just human beings. Like I did that many times. Like I was double checking some stuff, and I was really sure to myself that I did it well, that it was perfect, no mistake, blah blah blah. But still, like after 10 times of checking it, and then 11th time, like after that day, then I check it again, then oh my god, I missed something. So, and how was I able to miss it? So it's really what as humans. So so Colin decided to use an agency. So we use the agency called Rapid Visa. So I'm gonna write it down there, rapidvisa.com. So Colin found it online, and he googled it if it's really a legit, and if there's also an office in the Philippines. So which there was. So in Cebu City and even in Manila, there's a branch there, and here in the US as well. So we used the Rapid Visa, and I forgot how much we paid on that, but it wasn't really much. So, and it was worth it. So even though we got the agency, we also Googled also from ourselves, double checked it as well. So it's just like on that time, on that time, we're three people like double checking it, which is, there's nothing wrong about it, right? I mean, as what I said, we do mistakes sometimes, and we couldn't able notice it right away. So Rapid Visa um, ask us to submit documents to them so that they can file it, because even though we use the agency, but of course they can't work without the documents that you need to submit to them. So like the three of us, we need to work together. You can't just say, okay, I have an agency, okay, you do it yourself. So not like that. So what good about the agency, what good about the Rapid Visa is just they sent us a checklist on what we should prepare, and then what we should submit to them, and what's the step by steps, and yeah, the step by steps, and what we should be expecting for. So yeah, and okay, I have it here on my list, the step by steps that the Rapid Visa gave us, and I'm gonna like share it to you guys. So oh, by the way, Fiance Visa is also called K1 Visa. So, oh, I forgot. So, if you guys like wanting to get married there in the Philippines first before the Filipina wanna come here, so you can't use the Fiance Visa. you have to apply another kind of visa, which is called spousal visa, like from the words spouse. But there's another name on that too, but spousal visa is what it is. So spousal visa or CR visa, something like that. But spousal visa is very common. So, and since Colin and I didn't marry there, so that's why we used fiance visa. And it's so easy. It's just the same as fiance and a little um, similarity, but um, there's an area which different as well. I mean, the spousal and the fiance. The thing that they're similar with is that like you have to show to the embassy how genuine your relationship is. You have to prove it to them that it's not just a fling relationship, but it's really a relationship that you want to spend the rest of your lives together. Though, who knows in the end, right? But I mean, on that time, you're really truly in love. So that's the difference between the tourist visa as well, tourist. So it's for the people who just want to come here to tour, not to stay here forever. But of course, some other people, as far as I know, as far as I've heard, like they use tourist visa um, just a way to get in here, but they wouldn't go home. But it's that's another story. So on your tourist visa, you don't need to prove to the embassy about any relationship, like like lovers relationship, because it's a tourist. So you have to show to them that you can really provide yourself um, during the trip. You can, you have assets and everything in the Philippines that enough for you to go back there and not just to stay in here. So, well, the fiance and the spousal, you don't need to be rich to, to apply for that. You don't need to show your bank statements or whatever. It's just a genuine relationship between your sponsors and yourself. So, okay, let's move on. So the first step in filing fiance visa is the sponsor, the American citizen, your fiance, the guy, would be the first one to submit documents here in the U.S. So the Filipina, you you girl can't really do anything there yet in the Philippines. So it should be your sponsor, your fiance would file first here. So yeah, it says here that the United States citizen sponsor, which is your fiance, will file the K1 or fiance visa petition with the USCIS. That's the agency that would accept the form, the petition. So USCIS, United States, forgot. uh, yeah, something like that. USCIS, okay. Oh, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. So that's what it is, citizenship and immigration. So they're the one who would accept the petition. So the United States citizen sponsor files the K1 or fiancé visa petition with the USCIS by mailing the completed I-129F petition package along with a check to the Department of Homeland Security. So it's a form, and actually you can just your fiance can go to the USCIS.gov website, and the form is free to download there. So this the one is that if you guys would apply over yourselves, like you don't get any agency. But in my case, so I had agency. So my agency was the one who downloaded the form, of course, empty form, and then sent it to Colin. Oh, actually, like it's a when the agency sent it to us, it's just both me and Colin received it in our email. So we got it, and together with a checklist from them and what stuff or documents that we need to get ready. And yeah, we have to fill that out, the form. So I don't have it. Do I have it in here? Well, I'm not really gonna show my requirements, the requirements that I uh, prepared, because it's gonna be to the other vlog. So I'll show you what the requirements that I prepared at that time. But this vlog is all about the steps um, on how we apply the fiance visa. So first, as what I said, your fiance is the one to submit it first here. If you guys don't use an agency, if you guys have an agency, then the agency would be the one to download the form and forward it to you together, for sure, with a checklist, because mine is with a checklist on what we need to prepare, and also a payment. There's a payment for that. When you submit it, when your fiance submit it to the USCIS, there's a payment, and I believe it's $510. So that's the amount to pay for that. So as we forwarded it, so after we filled out the form and the stuff, the checklist, after we follow the checklist, it's just like to get, like for example, one of the checklists I remember is like my birth certificate, like that, and other stuff, just like government issue documents. So when we got all of that, so I forwarded it to Colin, and then Colin used a check on that. So with a check and filled out form and the checklist requirements that the agency asked us. So our agency asked the checklist only for our documents only to be submitted to the USCIS on that time, because later there's another additional documents that our agency will ask. So that's what good about the agency, because they ask us documents step by step. So if that document is not yet supposed to be ready on that stage, then yeah, we don't need to submit it to them first, so that it wouldn't mix or whatever. Because yeah, as far as I read before, and as what they told us, the agency told us, the USCIS really so strict when you submit the documents that they needed, because they on their website they would ask the requirements on the requirements from us that they wanted. So if you don't have agency, they would you would have to follow the checklist directly on their website. So you have to follow that. But in our case, our agency is the one like who read it, and they're an expert. They know what's the USCIS requirements for fiancé visa applicants. So yeah, so after we have that, we have all the checklists, completed the form and the payment. So we forwarded it back to our agency, and then the agency is the one like filing it, like proper filing, like formal, in a formal way. And then after that, which is why it's super good, because after that they forwarded it back to us to call in, because the agency branch that Colin submitted it, it's like here. So it's just the agency to call in, so not agency directly to me, because it's a different stage there later. So the agency really communicated to Colin on that time, because it was Colin's what you call this one, Colin's responsibility on that time to process it. So what I did on that time, on that stage, the first stage is just if the agency asked me, because I forgot, I guess the birth certificate on that time, they already asked my birth certificate. So of course they don't want any uh, photocopy. They want photocopy, but not just a photocopy, but the original as well. Some documents they want an original, like birth certificate, um, the what you call this one, like certificate that you're single. So like Sinomar, yeah, in the Philippines, Sinomar. So of course you know, you can always request that there in the Philippines. Of course, you have to pay, but it's not really much. So I had to really get the original one. And then I sent it here to Colin, like with FedEx, so that it would arrive here like just a week or less than a week because I need it. Because without that, then the agency could not submit it to the USCIS. So after the agency filed and everything, so they forwarded it back to Colin, and so that Colin can check it. That's what they do. They wouldn't submit it right away to the USCIS without um, Colin able to see what they're preparing and what they're doing, which is good because Colin had a chance to check on it as well. So Colin checked every pages of it, and it's really thick, like kind of like thick as this, because it's some like evidences as well about our relationship and everything. So, and then actually, to be honest, that's what I said. Like we used agency so that we can be sure of that everything is really like like in a proper way. But that's what I said earlier. Like they're also human, so they would also like miss something, and they did. So good thing that Colin checked it. So there's like some information the form which has a mistake, or you really have to read it. You can't just trust. I'm not saying that we lost our trust to the agency because we saw some mistakes. No, I mean it's good that they forwarded it back to Colin so that Colin can check it. And then when Colin noticed the mistake, so he emailed them about it, and they're saying, okay, we're gonna make another one, and they send it back to Colin. So, but this time, before send it back to Colin, it was digital copy first and see if everything's complete, and then Colin checked the digital copy that they sent, and it was okay. But then they send it still to Colin because Colin needs to sign it as well, and I guess I need to sign it too. So Colin sent that form to me as well through FedEx so that I can sign that and sign it and send it back. So yeah, I mean there's some uh, expenses involved, but yeah, it was worth it. So if you guys really love each other and you wouldn't mind like spending a little for that because it's worth it. So and after like finally like the agency and Colin said, okay, this is really right. This is really good to go. So Colin wasn't the one who sent directly to the USCIS because of course we got the agency. There was some pages on the form to like ask if you used agency or whatever. They have to put their agency name there, so that the USCIS knows that we're using agency, and it wouldn't affect the way we submit the petition, because it's either you use agency or you just send it yourselves. It's really like acceptable as long as it's a genuine papers. So Colin sent it back to the agency with Colin's signature and my signature, and then finally the agency sent it to the USCIS. So when the USCIS got the petition, we would know if they'll get it, because uh, they would what you call this? They would send a notice saying that they got it, and because we used agency, instead of like sending the notice directly. Oh no, yeah, they sent the notice directly to us, to Colin. So after, maybe when was that? A week? After a week when they got it. So Colin received this kind of notice. Yeah, this kind of notice like a receipt for the petition for fiance, that they got it. And they're gonna start look at it or process it, but actually it depends on how many people they're working there. So they just like I noticed that they really got it, and so that we're not like, you know, like worried that, oh, did our petition really got lost or what. So it's just that I noticed to tell us that they got it and they're gonna start putting it to their system, and we can start on check it online about the, you know, the process. So like what's going on already, what stage the process is. Yeah, you can really check that online actually. So, and then I kind of forgot how many, but it took a few months, like maybe 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, I guess. Because as far as I remember, like ever since the day one that Colin submitted it until the end of the process for fiancé visa, the end was like when I got a notice from uh, the embassy in the Philippines. Like it took us 6 months all the process. So according to their website, like filing for fiancé visa, it would take 6 to 9 months. It depends on, you know, the documents and how convincing it is. So, but ours is like it took 6 months all. But the USCIS uh, processing here, that would be like the longest within that 6 months, because the USCIS would need to investigate, or I don't know, like I know what they really like exactly doing, but they have to put in their system all of the infos that we sent. They have to see about Colin's background or whatever, if he's really telling the truth, if he wasn't really married here before we process or something like that. Because if they found out that we lied, then of course it wouldn't approve. So, but the USCIS processed mostly about the background of your fiance here. So if everything's good, so that's why after 3 months, then Colin got this letter, which is it says that yeah, your fiance petition approved. So they approve it after 3 months. So this is like, me and Colin's like, yeah, about this. And then after they approve it, they're saying like, this approval petition, we have to forward this first to another agency here in the US, which is called NVC. It's National Visa Center. So they're the one who's like, it's not gonna be another more investigation. They're just the one who would organize and see what country they would send the next processing, yeah, of the fiance. So meaning the what you call this, for the lady, for me, so they know that I'm from the Philippines, so the NVC would organize the checklist and everything to be forwarded to the embassy, the US embassy in the Philippines, which is in Manila. So that stage there, it wouldn't take longer compared to the USCIS processing. So, and then, so once the NVC would get the forwarded petition from the USCIS, so they would send us another letter again, calling, got it, this one, the National Visa Center, saying that they got the forwarded petition and they're gonna forward this to US Embassy in Manila. So, and then it says here that once the US Embassy in Manila got it, then the Filipina, myself there, would get a letter, another letter from US Embassy in Manila saying, which I don't have it here, yeah, saying that they got a fiance visa, petition from the US, and telling me that I am eligible to have an interview from them. So, and then that letter, it would say like a checklist on my requirements. So on that stage, that's the time that I really have to prepare the documents from myself, but not just myself, but mostly myself. So there's documents that Colin needed to forward to me, because all of that documents that I need to prepare there, which the embassy asked me to have, I would need all of that during my interview there. If I missed one, doesn't mean that they would not gonna interview me because I missed one. They would still interview me, but like there's like a big chance that that the result of my interview is not gonna be good because they needed that. But it depends on the consul maybe. But the consul would maybe ask, okay, you don't have this, whatever. Okay, then it'll have a delay. They said like submit this first, and they're gonna tell you for until when you can submit it, and then we will check it back again. But still, the interview would happen, but it's just, like instead of getting a result right away, if you're approved or denied, then you can't get the result right away because you missed one of the documents. So it's just like, so because after the interview, that spot before you leave the window, you would know if you're approved or not because the consul will tell you. Yeah. So so if you receive a letter from the US Embassy in Manila, so as what I said, it will say there checklist on what you need to prepare for the interview. And also before the interview, they would have you to get your medical exam. So medical exam is only in St. Luke in Manila. So there's a specific branch of St. Luke there. You can't go to any other hospitals because it's not a partner for the US Embassy. The US Embassy wanted that hospital only because they have a certain guidelines or specific health staff that they looking for the person who's applying for the visa. So, and in that case, you also need to pay for the medical exam. And on that time, I paid like 17,000 something pesos. So it's a Philippine money, 17,000. And when you go to have your medical exam, you don't need to have any appointment. You can just go directly. It's a first come first serve, but you have to be there so early because the line is long already, and it's better that you really be super early there because there's a lot of people. And what we did on the it need to you need to go for it like uh before your interview appointment. But anyway, like when um during your interview appointment, you can't just go there in the embassy and just showed up. You have to have an appointment. So when you receive the letter from the embassy, because it'll say there like the instructions like this, blah blah blah, like that. So I'm telling you guys what I did, and so the moment I got it, so there's an instruction that the first thing you have to do, of course, the checklist, right? You have to get that, but you can get that like within that days. But the first thing you have to do is to pay for uh, the interview. Or so all in all in this, like there's three common payments. I mean, not including those like little expenses on the FedEx or blah, blah, like that, or when you go to Manila for your medical exam and for your interview. If you're not from Manila, of course, like me, I'm from Cebu City, so I have to go to Manila twice for my exam and for my interview, because it says there before you have your interview, you have to have your exam like a few days before your appointment interview. And I read before that it would be good like a week before your interview. So like a week before my interview, we went there. So I usually like ask mom and sister to go with me. I went there for my exam, then we went back to Cebu, and then a week later we went for my interview. So during my medical, so there's what you call this, a hotel right next to the clinic. So of course there's a lot of like hotels really super close there, but um I wasn't really looking for a luxurious hotel, so it was just a decent one, and it's not expensive, but you know that you're safe. So it's just right next to the clinic, so the St. Luke Extension Clinic. So we went to Hotel Soriente. So it's just like, for example, this is the St. Luke, and the hotel is just there, just kind of like just one commercial building separate to it. So, and it's not really expensive. It's just a 1,000 something pesos per night compared to the other expensive hotels that cost 3,000 and up. And it was a decent one. Of course, they don't have swimming pool, whatever, but I mean, I don't care having swimming pool at that time because I didn't go there to explore or be a tourist. We went there for for interview and for medical. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You have to pay first um, for the interview, because you can't do your appointment. You can't do the appointment without the receipt. So first thing first, when you get a letter from the embassy, follow the instruction on where to pay for the interview. And on that time, the instruction was telling me to pay in BPI Bank, Bank of Philippine Islands. So any branches. So you just go straight there, and you have to bring with you your information that you have to, which when you get the letter from the embassy, the info that you needed is already there. So be sure to keep all the papers, do not throw it, and be sure to photocopy it as well. So after I paid, so do not also throw your receipt. That's very needed. Not just the information, but also during the interview, they're gonna look at it. So yeah, and after that, I called because you have to call the embassy, the U.S. Embassy in Manila, on their hotlines for to schedule an appointment. So you have to call, and then there's a customer service person would talk to you, and would coordinate with you what's the earliest available appointment, and the available appointment that you like to get. So, and after that, so they're gonna email you the, your appointment date and everything, and you have to also print that because you needed to show that for your appointment date. You have to bring that because that's one of the what you call this? That's one of the requirements the guard would let you in. If you don't have that, you can't get in. So yeah, so you have that. So, and then while waiting for your, so you already have the appointment, so you know already, like, so do not get an appointment which is like, for example, like today you're calling the embassy to have an appointment and you want an appointment tomorrow. You can't do that because you have to have the medical exam, as what I said. Medical exam have to do a week before your appointment. That's what they ask for. So, so that like they'll have the result of your medical exam. The embassy would have a result of your medical exam already, and if it's so close to your medical exam, so close to the interview, so they might not have the result yet, and it's very needed that they have that because that's one of the important requirements that they're asking. And that's why I said if you missed one of those important requirements that they're asking, the interview still happened, but you can't get the result right away after the interview because you're missing some documents. So, and then that's what we did. And yeah, myself, just everything, just once it's forwarded in the Philippines, so it's just you, the woman, will do much everything. And then, of course, your fiance will just, you need a support from your fiance. I mean, support like, like video calling you every day, like, okay, how is it? Is there anything I can do to make you like, because it's really, really like nerve wracking. Like, I was so nervous at that time. And like, like I said to myself, oh, please, don't make me like speechless or something. And it was so, I don't know, it was such uh what you call it, like yeah, it was such a big challenge for me because I was really preparing myself for the interview. You have to study and everything, and what you study is that, like, because the interview is all about like how you really know your fiance. Lucky to our fiance, I mean, the Americans, because they're not like, they don't need to go through the interview when they process, when they first submit the, the petition to the USCIS. They don't need to face the people there. They just only submit the papers, unless if the USCIS need something more. That's rarely happen unless if you missed something in your document that they want you to, that they want your fiance to appear in front of them. But I haven't heard that much. So Rich called in that case now. So he didn't need to face the USCIS personnel whatsoever. But as women, so even though how much convincing our documents are, but still they have to interview us face to face. So, and there's two interviewers when you get there. So first is a Filipino interviewer. So Filipino person working there just want to double check your documents, if it's right, if it's correct, some stuff like that. Of course, they're gonna ask like how you guys met, blah blah blah. What's the future plan? Yeah, and after that, so you be forwarded to the consul, the American consul. So that's the American working there in the U.S. Embassy. So that's the person who will decide right away. That's the last stage on the interview there. So, and oh my God, that's so funny on that time because like a day before our flight to Manila, like um I lost my voice. Like it was so funny on that time because oh my God, like my voice couldn't really like like I can't talk. Like there's no words at all. Mom was like um making me drink a lot of ginger, tea and everything. So when we got there, because we got there like a day before my interview, and even to the medical exam a day before our plan of the day of our medical exam. So a day of before our interview, so went there and I didn't have any voice at all. So I was so nervous, like I don't know what would gonna happen. But yeah, mom said like everything would be fine, just drink a lot of tea. And I could not even talk to uh the front desk in the hotel because there's no words at all. Like I can't say our reservation, blah blah blah. It's just like it was so funny. It was my sister then, like, okay, this is it. I was like kind of like whispering to my sister, like, this is what you should tell the front desk in the front. And I was just in front of the woman in the front desk, but then I was like talking to my sister, and my sister was the one who's talking to the front desk, like, oh God. But then the day, I thought that it would really gone, like the whole day of drinking the tea. I thought it would be I would get better the next day, because the next day I guess interview time was like 9 something a.m. So and it's still I still have the the thing on my throat, like I can't still talk. But it's a little bit better that day compared to like a day before that. But still, like, oh, like I talk like an old person. But I just said to myself, like, okay, I'll just like be honest to the consul or to the interviewer that it's just I'm not expecting this would happen to me, and that's what I did. So when I faced the interviewers, both the Filipino and American, I was just honest at first before I said something like, I'm sorry, I just like have this thing, but I'll try my best to really open my mouth. And the American consul, I was just lucky at that time. The American consul was so understanding. Like he said, like, oh, I understand. Of course, we're not, we don't expect this that we would get sick, blah blah, blah like that. Don't worry, I just have to ask you questions, and uh, I'll patiently listen. He said that, and that with that, like replying to me in that way, it made me feel like more comfortable then. Like okay, like my nervousness was like gone. Like I was just like talking to a friend. So I was really so thankful that God guided me on that time, and just like after that, yeah, I got approved. So and yeah, because actually, yeah. So it was so funny what um, the American consul told me, like, okay, well, good luck, and I don't want to see you here. Yeah, they don't want to see me there, like having another, interview again. So meaning like, yeah, good luck for me to like keep on going on what would be the next step on my processing here in the US. So it's not really really difficult. It's just, be true to yourself, be prepared. Just like what I did, I was really preparing myself, and just the day so close to my interview, and I got sick, something like that. But then I just like, like just I prayed to God, and I was just honest. to my interviewer what I feel on that day, and then everything's fine. So yeah, and I wish you you guys like those uh women who wanted to process fiance visa as well. So I wish you guys good luck, and I know guys you can do it as long as like be truthful to yourself, and yeah, just be real. Then it it would be okay. So anyway, I'll be doing another vlog again next time. On that time, I'm gonna show you guys what are the papers that I prepared, because as what I said that they're gonna give you a checklist, but what they're gonna give you a checklist was just the basic, like the most important. But on the end of that checklist, they're saying like any additional proof that you can show to the consul on how your relationship really is true and genuine, then you can bring it with you. So meaning to say, just think about whatever, so that whatever that you can really like show. So that's why I had some backup documents that I brought with me, um, to show to the console that me and Colin are really like real. So, and I'll show to you guys about that. I'll share it with you guys on my next vlog, or other the upcoming vlog. How I organized my stuff so that it's so easy for me to pull it out, and just because they're gonna ask you, it's not just like when you get there they're not gonna say, okay, show me the documents. No, they're gonna ask you, okay, do you have this? Do you have this? Can I see this? And so that you can like easily like give it to them, because they don't have much time to wait for you, like when they ask like, okay, I have to let me see, like that. So I'm not saying that they're in a hurry, that they're hurrying you up. No, it's not. But it's just, it's cool that like you have it in your hand right away when they ask you something. And yeah, it's like additional points to them. So guys, yeah, thank you for watching my vlog for today, and I hope this is very informative. And yeah, and I'll see you guys again next time. And well, I know you guys can do it, so bye. Bye.